All right.
We're in it now, man. We are live. There's no going back.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Cruxman. You got your two hosts. I'm Salt. Got Papa over here. Shit, man. Yeah. Another week.
It's been a crazy week. It's been a crazy week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why. I've been sick. Okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and get all the honesty out for anybody and everybody who wants to hear. I apologize if you have a weak stomach. This is not for the week of gut. This was not a pleasant week for your boy Papa. Okay, it was like period dot probably. I mean, I've had different forms of like food. Have you ever you had food poisoning before?
Oh, yes, I have.
Okay,
and yeah.
All right. So mental picture time, right? I mean, you're sitting, right? You know, you're handling business. Your stomach is in knots, you know, and this is day one, right? And like it hits you differently. I think every time. I've had it like 3-4 times. I think the worst I've ever had it, I was like, my muscles were like doing this number, you know, curling in on myself. And it's the worst. It's the worst damn feeling in the world because it's like, all right. You're sitting, and it's just explosive, and it's painful, and you feel another knot in your stomach, and you're like, why does my stomach still hurt? There's nothing left in my body, you know. And then all of a sudden, you know, you go to stand up from this particular episode, and just as you stretch out your stomach, it decides to come out projectile style. Now, Here's the predicament, okay? And this is where you got to be 100% game face, okay? Because you don't trust your bottom half, and your top half is exploding.
Is it sink or toilet?
so something's going somewhere it's not supposed to go, right? I mean, I'm talking about full blown, like laying in the bottom of a shower in the fetal position, like just lifting a cheek and letting it go, and just.
You know what? You're better than me because I wouldn't even be in the fetal. I'd be on my elbows and knees, booty hole open, so all that cool water could flow down the crack and get that lava up out of me, man. Yo,
it was absolutely like, and here's the worst part. As normal, I travel, right? I'm traveling again this week. I was traveling last week. So day 3 of all this, I'm on an airplane. And nothing's really gotten better except the nausea's come down a little bit. And so I'm sitting on the first airplane, and I'm on the window seat. So I got somebody next to me. I got to ask to get out of my way if there's a situation. And we're sitting there. We're at the whole short line getting ready to take off. And so there's no getting up at this point. There's no getting up, right? I mean, you are strapped in. If you get up, all of a sudden you're a terrorist. You're blacklisted for life. There's no getting up at this point. It's poopy pants or handle the situation. And let me tell you what.
Everyone's disturbed.
Oh, my God. That feeling you get like right before you're going to vomit, where you kind of get that hot flash that comes all the way through your soul. It hit like that. I was like,
panic.
Have you ever had you ever like you get in them and you're just like start sucking air between your teeth like that like you're pulling G's, but you're really just trying not to vomit everywhere.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at the whole short line.
Oh my God,
this old boy next to me, I felt so bad for him because he's looking at me like I got a problem, and I'm like, I do have a problem, but it's not your problem, and I'm going to try to make sure it's not your problem. So just like, don't look at me. No eye contact.
We're all in this together, buddy.
You're a big fella. Help me hold it in. Worst fucking week of my life. I mean, you know what? Not the worst week of my life, but it was absolutely miserable. Like,
you know, that's definitely a struggle. I've had, unfortunately, numerous situations especially on a plane. This is one of the reasons like I really hate flying commercial. And this is precisely why I have certain eating habits when I travel, when I fly. Right? I only eat. I don't particularly care to have any really like food when I'm traveling because I don't know what's going to jack me up. And there's like, I don't like having to use the restroom on a plane for numerous reasons. You know what I mean? Aside from it being like a tiny little phone booth of a bathroom that my large self has to stuff himself in there, and like, you know, just trying to get my pants down. That's hard enough, right?
Your ass is bumping into walls.
Oh my God. You know what I mean? I'm like, tearing that bad boy up.
What is he doing in there?
Because of that, like, I don't understand people pull off a Mile High Club. Who's going into that bathroom? 2 people in that tiny little bathroom pulling that shit off. It's got to be some private aircraft type stuff because nobody, like, especially nobody my size is doing that at all. But like, you know, when you're in there, and especially if you got like really bad like stomach issues, like for me, when I get really hot,
high myself, I don't think. Just like
man, because everything be like boom, 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 right into the door.
T-Rex arming myself like. Ah!
At that point, you're just trying to start a fire, you know, and just doing like that.
It's getting hot.
Sorry, man. Yeah, man. No, it's just, those bathrooms are really small, and on top of that, like I feel like I don't want to be the guy who blows it up because there's nothing mild about it, right? If I have to go to the bathroom on a plane, it's coming out violent. You know what I'm saying? So it's not going to be a scent-free dump. You know what I'm saying? So I'm scared to open the door and find someone waiting for me. To open that door, right? That's embarrassing in itself.
Slaps him in the face.
Then and then they're just kind of looking at you like, like you're nasty.
They just turn around and go back. They turn around and go back to their seat, like it ain't worth it.
It ain't worth it, you know. Fuck that. And then it's that long walk back to your seat where I feel like everyone's judging me. You know what I mean? Especially like because did they know they saw instant things like I'm a noticeable dude, right? Like I get up, I'm large, and I'm walking down this aisle. They know they saw me standing there waiting for the restroom to open up. They saw me go in. Now, it's probably not everybody, but this is just me. I clock people going to the bathroom. I don't know why, but in my mind, there's like a timer going off. Like, you've been gone for 10 minutes. I know what you did. You're nasty. You know what I'm saying? Like, even like an attractive like woman, I'd be like, I hope she just peed, but she's in there like just say, granted, I give her a little more grace period because, you know, it's a woman. But if she's in there for like a good 15, I know what you did. You're no longer like that's gross. Now, and this is I'm not saying that it's right. It's just what I do, so I feel like people are clocking me. They know that I took that dump, and I feel like I have to like get back. I can't make eye contact walking back down that aisle because everybody's just watching their TVs, right? They're watching, and they're kind of like, and I'm like, oh my God, and like I'm catching everybody's face. It's very uncomfortable shit. Very uncomfortable. I don't like pooping on planes. So I only eat like Cheez-Its. I eat like salads if I'm waiting. You know what I'm saying? If I do have a drink, I don't do anything with milk in it. That has ruined me in a very bad way. In a very, very bad way on an international flight. Jacked me up. Swore off against that. And ideally, I would rather have nothing to eat. Ideally. I'll do the little snacks because it's just a cracker. That can't jack me up. You know what I'm saying? But anything like fancy? A rich meal? Oh my God, no, and hell no.
Now, so, is that just on the airplane though?
Mainly where I have limited options, right? If I'm on a plane, I feel like I have an audience, and I don't want to do that in public. When I'm at home, I can eat whatever I want. If I'm on the road, period. Like if I'm traveling, like say if I'm in the car, even I don't want to have to do that type of thing at a gas station or at a restaurant. You see what I'm saying? So like for me, if my stomach is really jacked up, let's just say like, I'm like, oh my God, this is pretty bad. I can't just go to the bathroom like a normal person. I can't do it. For me, my body starts to overheat. I can feel these things coming on. So as I'm walking to my bathroom here, there's a trail of clothes behind me. My shirt's coming off. My sneakers are coming off. My pants are coming off. And I need to be naked for that whole situation because I just keep overheating, and it's uncomfortable having clothes on when it's like that, because like my body is just trying to eradicate it with heat, I guess. I don't know.
That must be a thing, right? Because I've heard of I have another friend who has openly admitted that they cannot handle business with clothes on. Like any clothes, like even if they're in a public restroom. Now, granted, they don't prefer. Neither do I. I mean, if you first of all, if you prefer to go to the restroom and handle business in a public bathroom, you're psycho. Like that just right. You're we're not.
Is it though? Are they like a borderline cuckold for?
Yeah. And it's not fucking right. Okay, check yourself into the loony bin because you got problems. Okay. Keep your nasty ass at home and handle business in private. That's how I prefer to do it. But I know this one individual has openly admitted, he's like, yo, if it's an emergency situation, he will still completely undress. To which I ask the question, you take your shoes and socks off in public bathrooms?
Gross. Yeah. So he's barefoot on that piss splattered floor.
I'm hoping he keeps his socks on, but apparently he folds shirts and pants and folds it all up and just hangs it on the little thing and like buck naked. Like, no.
I mean, I wish I had that type of dedication. But see, the thing about is he doing that prior to sitting down? Like you have that kind of time, that kind of patience, and you have that type of a control over the hiney hole to ensure that you're not going to explode as you're doffing all this gear.
I had a mentor tell me one time. Now he mentored me on many things other than the public poop game, but he said it is mind over matter, and you do not release until you got ass to plastic.
Man,
until you are ass to plastic,
I agree.
Yeah, there's no. Dude, because he had a horrible story. He had that's horrible story.
That's tough to do, though. That is difficult to do. And I say that because everybody knows this. Once you can see a toilet, once you're in the vicinity of a toilet where you can relieve yourself, your body, the natural reaction is to just let it go. Like it just wants to let it go. Mm-hmm. So to get into a stall, first, let's just say that the stall is even available in the first place, right? You're not waiting for somebody. You're not toe tapping outside the door. You get in there and you close the door. Are we in a handicap stall or are we in a regular stall? What kind of space are we talking about, right? And then you're looking at the toilet, right? Is the seat semi-decent looking? For me, I have to take a handful of toilet paper and buff that motherfucker out. You know what I'm saying? Because that's gross. It's nasty. And on top of that, I need to put 3 to 4 layers of toilet paper down before I put my ass cheek on that seat. I need a buffer. I need a nice
and a plastic gasket.
On top of that. And then I'm taking 3 or 4 of them too. You see what I'm saying?
You ever been to some of these places that they don't have those?
Oh, I know. And then I'm taking just the whole roll of toilet paper and loading it up.
Just
you know what I'm saying?
Gross.
And the thing is, so if you're doing all this prep work and now you're talking, I need to take my clothes off. That's another level of discipline. You don't have to go that bad. In my personal opinion, you don't have to go that bad, which doesn't warrant the taking off of the clothes.
So you're saying that this person might be one of those folks that just enjoys dookie in public? Possibly.
But butt ass naked though?
That adds another level. I'm gonna have to stop being friends with this person.
You're high fiving him with the right hand.
Oh. You had to, didn't you? Had to. Yeah. You know what? Everyone's got their things. I'm sure I do. I have my own personal things. That people, if they knew, they'd be like, never again. One, am I touching your hand or being friends with you?
I already know that I'm out of my mind, and it's acceptable. And that's fine. And I'm sure it's going to come out one of these days on this show. We just haven't touched on it quite yet. And I'm going to be open and honest about it, and it's okay with me. I'm going to go to hell with it, and it's fine. However, I think when it comes to stuff like that, it's definitely mind over matter. And numerous times I feel like, you know what, Charles, this is it. We're going to be embarrassed and we have to just accept that. It's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew this, you know, and then there's other times where it's just kind of like, man, I mean, you can't be present. You need to go into the distant future with your head. You know what I mean? It's like going through like hell week in sports, right? Like it's hot, you're miserable and all that. I couldn't, when I was going through that, even like freezing cold games, I can't be present when I'm sitting around. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm dying. My body's hurting. Everything, all the above. I have to think, I'm on a beach in Hawaii, which I just came back from yesterday.
Nice.
Aloha, by the way. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know, I have to be,
Did you get laid?
I did, actually, numerous times. And I was like, good looking out, ladies. You know what I'm saying? They held me down. And actually one dude as well. You know what You know what I mean?
Look, no.
I mean,
At this point of the conversation, no one's judging. Okay.
like no wonder why his mind's all blown out. You know,
You need to take them flower petals to the bathroom with you next time. Freshen it up in there a little bit.
Exactly. Some little poopery. You know what I mean? Oh no, yeah, man. Speaking of Hawaii, yo, like Hawaii, I'm telling you like this. Hawaii puts me in the hurt locker every time I go out there.
What's that?
Hawaii is because first and foremost, I eat and I eat and I eat all damn day. Like there's no stopping. You know what I mean? I still have musubi in my microwave. I'm gonna consume promptly
Dude,
after this.
The food is so good.
Oh my god, the ramen and things I have like it's not just like a couple things. Like I need like everything, you know. And then you think as often as I'm out there, I'd be like okay, but I'm not. Like I have to get my loco moco from the same place. I have to get some bomb ramen from the same place. I have to get now a hula dog from the same place. Like there's just all these things that I have to consume, and I don't have a whole lot of time to do so. So I'm walking around with like this gut full of food, and then I'm still like a goldfish eating more. Like I'm just eating myself to death, literally. So it's rough. And then they got the delicious fruits. Oh my god, and it's yo. So I say that
it is so good, man.
Not only physically does it do it, but also monetarily, I'm dropping like $70, like over and over and over. I'm just watching money fly out of my pocket. Just that place is so expensive, man.
Your stomach's
so
happy.
Expensive.
But your stomach's happy.
It is though. It is.
And I think that's really the purpose of this conversation, right? Like and I'll take you that, like getting back to making your stomach happy. Like after an episode like that, like one, I mean, you're afraid to even let something squeak out because you're afraid you're gonna shit yourself, right? You know, like every little feeling in your body, you're like, well, I better sit down for this. Like, what a fucking
quick question.
Yes.
Real quick question.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say something seeps out.
Uh-oh.
Right? And it touches your drawers. Are you keeping them or are you tossing them?
Well, see, I feel like you set me up for That's a very interesting question there, Salter. I guess that would have to depend on whether or not you fucking wear drawers, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, that's right. So then, are you burning your jeans, or are you keeping those jeans?
Look, my jeans ain't cheap. All right.
Ooh,
they're getting balled up in a plastic bag.
You better invest in some type of a butt pad or something like that, just in case of these situations, man. Or you gonna be running through some serious gear. You know
Man,
what I mean?
I'm telling you, dude, these situations, and we're getting into things I normally don't even discuss, right? If my wife ever hears this episode, she's going to be like, oh my God, I cannot believe. You don't ever let us talk about pooping at home. Like, what you did an entire episode on poop, you know? Whoa, calm down, babe. First of all,
she watched the entire hour and a half.
Yeah, it wasn't on poop, okay? This was on full-grown man digestive tract, gastrointestinal issues.
This is a real problem.
And yeah, I'm keeping them fucking jeans, all right? I'm going to wash them on sanitized mode, and we're maybe hang dry, you know? I mean, we're getting back to business.
Oh, man. I have to get rid of them. You know what I'm saying? Okay, there is no depending on nothing. Like I was trying to say, like, okay, well, maybe, if I could wash them thoroughly and there's no like outline of like a stain or anything like that. But you know what? I would just know that they'll never be the same. They've been tainted.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for instance, right? Having had to live in very close confined quarters with nasty motherfuckers, right? Dudes that I'm having to see people around me, and I'm a very like neat, tidy, clean individual. Like I like that. These dudes are walking around with tidy whities, and they've got little brown designs in the back.
See, now that's a problem. That's a problem.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking, like, is this present or past? There's no way to know. Now, depending on how faded it is, possibly.
Yeah. My aversion to wearing undergarments has not been my entire life. But I can tell you, even when I wore undergarments, And look, my thing is, I love being apologized for the interruption. Anyway,
it's all great.
Yeah. So no, okay. My aversion to underdrawers, underoos. For whatever reason, man, as I started getting older, man, I just hated like one. I think boxers as a style, like in my early 20s, like that was kind of the jam. I think most people wore just straight boxers. I've never been a briefs person ever,
No.
Right. Like just straight briefs,
They're ugly and they're uncomfortable.
Yeah. And then you get into like boxer briefs, I know the ladies like the boxer briefs. So I got into boxer briefs for a little bit, I know my wife likes them. I don't know why, but she does, I think it like, outlines some attributes without showing off all the attributes. So, whereas boxers are just kind of baggy and saggy in the butt, they probably don't look that great, when you undress your clothes, whatever. But I don't like being held in. I don't like all that restriction. Mm-hmm. It's never been my style. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. Tossed them out. And I've been floating around this world so much more comfortable, just living free, but I will tell you, a friend of ours, and I wish we could drop names on this, but we're not there yet. A friend of ours asked me one time, he goes, "Hey, you know what underwear is for?" I was like, I don't know, to protect me from my clothes. I mean, right, from chafing and stuff like that. Because I walk around in jeans. People are like, "Yo, how do you do that?" Just your thing, your member straight on the jeans and stuff. I'm like, I don't know, man. Maybe I just got a leather cock. It does not seem to affect me all that much. Yeah. He goes, "Nah, man. They're there to protect your clothes from you, so that when you have incidents, right, you don't got to throw away your $100 pair of jeans. You throw away the $5 pair of undies." So, like,
yeah, well, drawers ain't $5 no more. Them things are expensive as hell.
Depends on what you wear, Ralph Lauren.
Well, I wouldn't say Ralph
Calvin
Lauren,
Klein.
but it is up there, that caliber.
Well,
indeed.
What's your jam? Your jam?
The ones I got right now, they're called Ex Officio, something like that. There's another brand that I like too that I've been kind of digging. But it's why I went. Shoot, since we're gonna go there, let's just do this. I do have Calvin Klein's. Calvin Klein's are nice as well. But I did like a very thorough, in-depth research on boxers because I was like, cause I'm a boxer brief type. That's what I rock. They have another one too, the trunks. I have like that variety as well. The trunks. Trunks I don't like because they're a little too tight and compact. There's not enough material.
They punch on my leg though too, right? Like they start to ride
and
up.
it feels like I got something. Yes, and now it's like I might as well be wearing a fucking G-string, not a G-string, but the Speedo. You know what I'm saying? The way it kind of rides. You know what I mean? But but I have that variety, not to wear all day, just for company. You know what I mean? Because like you said, right? For me, I believe presentation is everything, right? If a woman comes through and let's just say the expectation is all the things, right? My expectation is she's going to come correct. She's going to have something lovely underneath, or she's going to change into whatever the case might be, right? But there's that expectation. You're not going to see some granny panties. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to see none of these things, right?
She's got to come prepared. She's going to have people presents in the fucking shopping bag that you bought it in. You wrap it up in nice
100%
wrapping paper, and then you deliver the present proper. Yeah.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, if you want to see this through to the end, you're going to come correct, right? Especially in the beginning. So for me, I started, and I've told this to our, mutual friends and whatnot, like you should presentation. I was like, don't slack up because you're a guy. Oh, if you expect this out of a woman, you should provide her that same experience. You know what I'm saying? She should also be able to see you. First and foremost, if your body should be, I'm not saying you have to be perfect, but be clean, be on point. Right. So like if you like, for instance, you get like a gorgeous woman when she takes off her top, you're just like, dang, right. You're seeing like that bra, you're like, oh, and she has like a nice body. Like, yo, she takes care of herself. You're just like, wow. Right. that should be the same for her. You know what I mean? And not just physically your physique, but also like, well, what are you rocking underneath? I think they appreciate that. So if you have like the trunks, like you just said, my wife likes when I'm in the boxer briefs, right? It's not like she's not seeing that. If you were wearing some tighty whities, she'd be like, yay. You know what I mean? Like, she wouldn't give a shit. You know?
No, I'm pretty sure my wife would be like, we're done here. We're done here.
She'd be very unenthusiastic and performance, right? You get a lower performance.
I
right?
would get
you don't
no
get
performance. In fact, I'd probably get her mother calling me going, what the fuck? What are you?
I heard you're abusing my daughter psychologically.
Yeah. You are a grown ass man. Why? And you know my mother-in-law. She is ruthless. Indeed. She'd hurt my feelings.
She holds nothing back.
She would hurt my feelings.
Yo, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it should be that expectation on both sides. It should be that. Like, you know, for me, I'm all about the 50-50. I'm not gonna sit there and accept all this, but I'm just kind of like bleh in the return. So yes, I do have these different varieties for said company. But I rock though the briefs on a daily. Like when I'm traveling, I like to be comfortable. Now, granted, I cannot do the free ball thing. When it comes to that, to me, I think there's too much freedom. I don't want the dogs roaming the yard. I need them to stay right there in the little home and just hanging out, right? I need to know that I put you there, you're going to stay there. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that because for me, like I've only recently in the last year or so gotten comfortable coming out of the shower, going through my routine, and then going to bed butt ass naked. I didn't like that at first. Like I was like, for one time I was just so exhausted. I was like, you know what? It's nice and cool. Like the air conditioner was going on. Like, you know, I'm just like nice, just like this. And I did that. And I was like, you know what? It actually wasn't too bad. Now, granted, I don't do this all the time, but it's something that's acceptable now. Free balling throughout the day, especially if it's very hot and I'm sweating everywhere, all the cracks and crevices. I cannot have my boys hanging out and doing whatever they want.
Now, I will tell you, there's some planning involved in this, right? Like, I mean, if we go into the pool, free balling, right? Period. Dot.
Because there's trunks.
Because there's right.
Trunks is automatic,
right?
Yeah.
But no, if we're going out on the town, like, and it's in a hot, humid, you know, we're going to Vegas or Mexico, something like that. No, there's some planning involved right there, right? Because first of all,
you want some talcum powder?
No. I mean, like, I will wear drawers in locations like that because I'm not trying to be the dude walking around with ass crack sweat, you know, showing up on my short. Like, absolutely. That's just gross, you know. Like this is it's like the perfect storm. Like that's where you kind of you live when it comes to, you know, free balling. I think. I mean, unless you just give zero fucks, which we got friends like that too, and they just don't care. Let me ask you this, because I've personally tried it. I don't like it. That's just me. I'll say why, but I want to know have you tried like silk boxers?
Silk. I think the thread count that I have, I have tried them. If you're gonna do that, I suggest only doing it in the wintertime.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
It's got to be a dry climate. Hot. Very dry climate.
Very dry, and preferably, for me, I don't like to overheat. I need things to ventilate, and silk, as nice as they might feel, that's a little too much for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not something I could do on regular. I like the moisture wicking, kind of very well ventilated, but still like it stays where it's supposed to be type boxer. I don't like it to be too short. I like them to be like a mid thigh or so. You know what I mean? Or not say mid thigh because that's kind of long, but like the normal ones, not like the super long joints that go down to my knee. I don't need all that, you know?
Not like the 4-inch inseam, but like the 8-inch inseam.
Yeah. You know, I mean, and that's just for me, just because I don't like the shit that rides up. So these ones that I use, right, they're called ex officio or whatever. I was saying that before when I did this research. This guy on it was on Amazon. I bought these joints. I'm looking through these different boxes or whatever. And this one had like this super high rating. I was like, oh shit, what's this about? And one of the comments that sold me was like, this guy was like, you know what? I love these boxers. They were made out of the clippings of God's beard. I was like, ooh wee, that must be soft, I'm assuming. So I bought them, and they are like sitting on a cloud. I think the quality's gone down a little bit, but still, in general, still my favorite boxer out there. You know what I'm saying? So I rock them, of course. Yeah, I do have the Calvin Kleins. That's like the only of like the real super name brand stuff that I got. There's another one that I got too that I recently bought that I like, but they're more like the trunk style, right? That's just more for so special occasion.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But yeah. When it comes to all that, like I think like even like my socks on point. Like I'm a big Stance socks guy.
Yeah.
I love their
Yeah.
socks. They don't get lazy. I can get all kinds of designs, whatnot. They're just super comfortable. Like I can't just do regular socks.
We were talking about earlier. You said you started finally getting comfortable, like going to bed just buck naked. So let me just peel back the onion on that one for a half a second. Like my whole thing, the reason why, and this started like, yeah, it had to have been 15 years ago, maybe more. I can't remember the last time I wore an article of clothing to bed. You know what I mean? Like, you know, people are like, oh my God, he's a dad. What about, you know, my kids don't come to my bed. They're not allowed in my bed. I love my kids, and they will sneak surprise sometimes, like, oh, I had a bad dream. Like, oh, okay. Well, you're not getting in bed, so go back to your room, go to sleep. Daddy's comfortable, right? Like, I'm comfortable like that. And here's why. And this is the only reason I could probably ever come up with to explain to you why, okay? And I don't understand how people men specifically, wear anything to bed. Everything feels restricted. I've tried wearing t-shirts to bed, and I feel like I'm choking. I feel like I'm choking myself. Or I like roll over and it like twists and it pulls on my arm, and I'm like I feel like I'm in a straight jacket and I get like claustrophobic in my own bed. Like, and it's the t-shirt's fault. Rip off t-shirt, no more claustrophobia in my own bed. I'm good to go, right? But then you go below the waist. Things happen, right? It has a mind of its own. So when it starts thinking happy thoughts, with or without input, that is just unfucking comfortable, especially in boxer briefs, because they're holding things together. So, I mean, what are you? I mean, are you just waistband up, slap, you know, like behave yourself?
I mean,
how?
I agree with you. I agree with you with all the restrictions. So it's like for me, like I at most I wear like basketball shorts to sleep. I don't nothing else, just basketball shorts and boxers, right? Typically though, for me, I just jump in with some boxers. You know what I'm saying? And then I go to sleep. I don't like all that twisting and bunching either when I'm sleeping, you know, where it's like I feel like I'm getting held up. But my thing is always that even without, say you're having happy thoughts, whatever, right? At least I know that it's there and it's not going anywhere else. I can't roll on it. I don't have the bag underneath my hip and I roll over on it. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is just nice and neat and where I expected it. When I went to bed, it was there and it's there still. Now, if I wake up and things are being prevented from the bridge can't raise like it's supposed to, you know what I'm saying? I can fix that. You know what I'm saying? But like, I don't want that going anywhere other than where I expect it to be when I went to sleep. And I just don't know. It's just too much movement, too much freedom. Kind of like with women, like, and wearing like well, they don't have like a bra. I can understand like where they strap them down, you know, they keep them where they're supposed to be at. Cause it's just, you know, I mean, it's just too much, you know, how you can't control that. You know what I'm saying? It's just, they're just out there. They're just living that life. So for me, I look at it like that, you know, and on top of that, yeah, it is a good buffer for like the sweat,
you know what,
and all this other stuff. And if you have really,
let's take that for a second. Okay. We might get controversial here.
As we should.
You had to choose 100% yay, 100% nay. Bras, yes or no? Preference.
Oh, give me the bra.
Yeah.
You talking in terms of what are we? In terms of what? What are we talking about?
In terms of if going to sleep, waking up, cooking, wearing your t-shirt, going out in public, dressed down.
Bras. Yeah, bras.
Really?
And I'm gonna tell you why. I have it. So like for me, I like that I think lingerie is outstanding. And I don't think it gets its just proper due, because when you see it, it's only on for about let's just say 20 seconds max, and then it's off. You don't get a chance to properly appreciate that design, that cut. Now we're talking about t-shirts or whatnot. I like if she's rocking a t-shirt. If she has the bra on, that's fine, right? But I like that whole look of the lingerie. You know what I'm saying? I like, a complete nude woman is outstanding, but I prefer her in lingerie. I like to have that,
so
dare I say, outfit.
So
her body.
And not to get too personal and intimate, because I know for sure we could go there, but that ain't for the public's ears. Not yet. Anyway. You mentioned it's on for like
10 seconds later.
Yeah. Let me get one more down and we'll just But no, like I'm just saying, I too appreciate lingerie, but it's not on for 20 seconds. It's on until it physically can't be on anymore. I take my time with it, but I also I get what you're saying though. I get what you're saying. However, I could give two shits about a bra. Now, downstairs, the panties or whatever variety. Let's get creative. That's where I'm at. Like all sorts and kinds of, from I don't care, the full butt, the scrunchy butt, the thongs, the G-strings, the flowers, the colors, the frillies, all the I don't give
Absolutely.
Let's get fucking creative. Love it.
Well, see, and that's where I think that people get lazy. They're not thinking. So people put a lot of. So this is where women, I think they trump dudes heavily. You mean at least women that I seem to like, because this has been a consistent thing. But I think it's just a female thing. They are thinking about that when they go out, especially if they already know that I like this guy, and they're thinking about every layer of that outfit. You know what I'm saying? So
first of all, with a proper woman, my opinion, if she doesn't feel sexy, you're not getting laid anyway. It doesn't fucking matter. Like she needs to feel good about herself and confident 100%. About herself if she's even going to think about showing any of her goods to you. So the fact that a woman puts that much thought and effort into it, I need to look good for me and feel confident in my own skin. If you don't put forth that same effort, look, when you're at home in your sweats, you're at home in your sweats. And if you get on that relationship, level with a woman, which I hope to God everyone can get on the level that I'm on with my wife. Like, it's awesome. It's comfortable. You're at home, and if you're at home, but my wife, you probably know this already. Like, she can walk by in sweats and a t-shirt, and I'm like, call the babysitter. You know what I mean?
But the thing about it, though, you're talking about just an attractive woman. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about when you're in that boyfriend girlfriend mode. You know what I'm saying? Because the expectation isn't that now it'd be outstanding if the standard, regardless of the level, was something lovely underneath, right? But you can't be rocking that daily with munchkins running around. You know what I'm saying? It's more of like this is the mommy daddy thing.
I disagree.
Okay. Well, no.
Look.
No,
this might be too personal, but this is why my wife's undergarments. I don't know that she owns a pair that I have not bought for her.
Oh,
I know her. I know her size, right? And I know what I like, and I know what she prefers. So I'm like, if I know what you prefer, and I know your size, and I know what I like, I can go and I can make all those things come together. And here is all of it, and therefore, it's always game time.
Well, no, I'm talking about
to a degree, and I'm not trying to get too weird, but I think
no. I'm saying she's not scrambling eggs in that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's little people. Or am I wrong?
Hold on.
She's not scrambling eggs in Fredericks of Hollywood.
Only that.
Just that. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, the difference. My thing is that's something to me. If you're wearing something very seductive, I like that. And just, that's how you're like just chilling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I like to see that. Like, you should, to me, like, I agree. An attractive woman in sweats or just a wife beater or one of my jerseys or whatever, I think that's amazing. You know what I mean? I think that looks awesome. You know what I'm saying? But if you have like, if you are comfortable, if you got like some nice like lingerie and you throw like one of my joints, like a hoodie of mine on or whatever, it blows my mind.
There's
like,
nothing
like,
sexier.
You know
There's
I mean?
nothing sexier.
I love it. You know what I'm saying? I think like, and this is where I'm saying like the women that they have, there's so many different varieties that you can't, if you're lazy, you haven't chosen one that strikes your eye and says, you know, I'm going to wear that tonight. And I'm going to make this dude want me on another level.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing is that I think that dudes are super lazy. Now, granted, we don't have a whole lot of options out there as it is. However, you can take that extra step and have some nice, fresh, clean Calvin Kleins. You can go ahead and I'm not saying you have to have nothing up your ass. You know what I'm saying? You can just wear like some nice trunks or some nice boxer briefs, whatever. But it doesn't have to be some old, worn out, holy joints. And she's over there like, oh, yeah, you know, and you're thinking that she's supposed to just go to work just because you're in the building.
No, you're fucking gross. You're fucking gross. First of all, you must not really want to be there. Like, and you're not going to survive.
You don't know better. So I'm gonna say, okay. So this, and I say this because, okay, and now that we're here, we're gonna go.
How the fuck do you not know better?
For instance, I agree.
How about wash your ass before you go out?
Well, okay. I'm talking in terms of having like a very nice, like this is just like this girl's like, I like this girl and I want to present this, right? These aren't my everyday type drawers. This is like my nice stuff, right? Women don't always wear the sexy stuff out in the world. They have like their everyday bra, everyday joints, you know what I'm saying? But then when it's like game time or they're just like, yo, like, what's up? They go that next level and they put that Fredericks of Hollywood on. You know what I'm saying? They'll put those straps and chains on, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know, you know what I'm saying? With like the little butterfly easy access joint down below. You mean they'll rock those things.
You're not just going to skip over this.
Before we go there. But I'm saying, so when it comes to that, right?
Yeah, no, you have my full undivided attention on whatever this boring topic is you're about to go into right now.
I would like to know, could you talk about, you just said some people don't know. And when it comes to not knowing, here's the situation. This girl I used to date, I'm going to call, you know, you familiar, Canada. I used to date this girl. And I think it was, before we really got it popping. Actually, no, we were already getting popping. But I came out to go visit her. I went to go see her. And what she asked me to do was manscape. Now, granted, I had never done that. Now, granted, I'm not a hairy dude in general, right?
Never.
But I didn't have like I'm not a hairy dude, but I didn't have like a full-blown afro puff. But the jungle could have been trimmed.
Okay.
But no, nobody had ever told me that this was a problem. Right. And I'm talking like it'd be, you know, so she was the first one that was just kind of like, I'm gonna need you to do that. And I was like, in my mind, I'm thinking like, this is like some American Pie stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd never done this before. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, but I told her because she said that that's what she wanted. I said, okay. Now I semi freaked out because yeah, I can use clippers all day, but she didn't want just a turf. She wanted me to scorch the earth. You know what I mean? So I was like, well, how do I go about doing this being that I'm not a razor guy? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so you need to get that or whip that your bags.
For everybody watching, my
quick.
bags are here.
Yeah, go ahead and answer real quick. See what's up.
I ain't worried about it.
Because I'm going to cut this out anyway. Okay, anyway.
Right.
Yeah, so she wanted me to, you know, scorch the earth. So I went online. And I say this. I went online. I found out that the stuff I used to make
scorch the earth,
all work.
You mean?
Yeah. We're talking Dave Chappelle, smooth as eggs. That's what she wanted. I mean, she wanted a nice clean plate. You know what I'm saying? So I did that, did some research, whatever, found a way to do it because the stuff that I use in my face, I use in my head. I did that. So when it comes to that, do you has the standard changed for yourself in particular? Women have their own, they get the waxings, they do the petties and manis and all that good stuff. Has that standard maintained for yourself in that regard?
For me?
Yeah.
So here's the deal. Here's the deal. Do I maintain? Yeah, of course I do, man. Like I maintain, but this is the type of narcissist that I probably am. Like I don't just maintain for my wife. I maintain for me. Like I don't like body hair. First of all, like, I just don't like it. I could probably say, as a man from the neck down, I don't like body hair. But I don't like nose hairs. I don't like ear hair. I don't like I'm not a hairy dude either. Like, you probably can't even see the hair on my arms. I've never waxed or shaved my arms. You can't even see the hair on my arms, right?
Yeah, me neither.
I'm not a hairy dude.
Yeah.
But like, I'm sorry. Anybody who's listening who is victim of this particular unfortunate genetic event, but like
that baboon look.
Yo, you see dudes with hair on their shoulders,
their back.
I mean, their back.
Yo.
Look, and if it's a thick mane and they're rocking it, like, okay, rock that sweater, bro. Rock that sweater. I'm not hating on you. Here's where my like particulars get out of order, right? When I'm looking. Well, no, not even the extremes. It's the in extremes. It's the folks that got like the little patch at the bottom of their back. Like, yo, get rid of it. You're a dude.
Yeah, that's weird.
Get rid of it. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't need to have. I mean, if most of your ass is slick, but you got things like trees growing out between the cracks, like, yo, get the fuck rid of it. Like, stop.
Agreed.
Either be full blown gorilla, or be bald from the neck down. Because my jam.
So what?
I don't like it.
Is hair on a woman acceptable? And if so, where is it acceptable?
Okay, I was going to say where. On her
now,
head.
granted, I think we can both agree. We can both agree that a mustache is not acceptable.
Not acceptable.
Depending on some people, I know they like that. A beard, like the chin, not acceptable. No, some dudes I know they actually don't mind that.
They're the same dudes who are out here, who love shitting in public, like that.
Probably,
what?
Probably
lock them up, put them away.
And then I also know some dudes that they don't mind something underneath the arm.
Nope, gross. Same thing. Lock them up.
I agree.
All in the fucking movie together. You got props.
Some don't mind that 80s style down below. They don't mind that.
I don't care for it. It's not my preference, especially if it's if we're dining out that evening.
Indeed.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Now, okay. With that being said, because I agree, I don't think that it has to be necessarily. It doesn't have to be a scorched earth policy. However, I prefer that. I do prefer that, but it doesn't have to be a scorched earth policy. But can it be Jumanji down there, or should it be a nice NFL turf?
I mean, it's got to be kept. It's got to be kept. I mean,
there's nothing wild and Jungle Book like.
Nah, I can't handle that. Yo, like you just don't care about yourself at that point. Like in the ways that I care about myself, right? So again, this is
like culturally though. That's not like their jam. Culturally,
well, right? But I'm just saying, like, and that's okay. That's okay. Not everybody was meant for everybody. Okay, there's a lot of puns in that with the body. Okay, like not everybody's body was meant for everybody's body. Okay, like it's just, and that's all right, and I accept that. I accept that, right? But I guarantee you, I mean, I can't guarantee anything, man. There's so much weird shit happening these days. But like hypothetically, right? Like I'm out, as a single man or whatever, and I stumble upon an Amazon who is still Amazonian down there. I'm not saying I'm not going to enjoy it for the evening for what it is, but it's certainly not my preference. And I can also tell you, I ain't going downstairs. Not happening. Not trying to. I don't want my nose getting tickled with whatever that is.
You're down there flossing.
Well, here's another thing too. Here's another thing. If it's full blown Amazon down there, you also don't really know what you're getting into. That's my personal opinion.
Shit.
I like to be able
Agreed.
to see what I'm getting into, right?
Exactly.
And even if
It's
I
like
can
eating in the
see,
dark.
even if I can see what I'm getting into, I might not go down there. Like, right? Like, depending
Absolutely.
on what we're talking about. But
I agree 100%. You know what? For me, when my plate, I don't like eating in the dark. Granted, we've done this before. We did that for your bachelor party. But I like to see what
I
I'm
didn't like
eating.
it.
I mean, yeah.
Didn't like it. No.
Yeah. Are there tomatoes? I don't like tomatoes.
Of all the things we've discussed today, that is too personal. that right there. You're cut off.
Oh man. Yeah, you know, I don't know when it, you know, and this kind of takes
We
me
could
to
do an entire episode.
what? Oh, I missed that last. You said we could do an entire episode. Oh, there you're back. All right, cool.
We could do an entire.
No, I mean,
we could do an entire episode on my bachelor party.
Oh, 100%, and we probably will one of these days. You know what I mean? You know, I think when it comes down to grooming, that standard, it comes down to I think it's just like the grooming standard is personal preference when it comes to that. Is it a personal preference or a hard line when it comes to hygiene as well for you?
Hygiene, like what? Like brushing teeth? Or?
Like in terms of, yeah, just like the basics, right? Like some there's wiggle room, kind of like with the grooming, right? You know, it's like, okay, well, she has armpit hair, that's fine. She's got this. For you, what's like the hard line with that? Can she skip a couple days? Can she have some things in her teeth?
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying?
No, man. Like, look. You're talking about
the body.
We're talking about, and we've done a lot of clowning around on this particular episode. But we're talking about right now, like being physically intimate with each other's body. Like, I don't want to be around me when I don't smell good. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to.
I hear you.
You know, I wouldn't come back. You know, like, let's go wake up in the morning, have coffee, handle business, right? Flush, head to the gym, because I'm not going to shower when I'm going to the gym. Okay, all right, get back from the gym. I'm not jumping into bed with myself, nor would I expect anyone else to jump into bed with myself. It's time to clean up. Brush your teeth, get the coffee, get the stains off, get the shit out your teeth. Like, take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
They're people. No, absolutely not.
I mean, and listen, like, granted, like, I already know how you do, but I'm saying, like, this is like not across the board the same for everybody.
People have different people have different standards, and you know, I think people who are willing to flex to a unkempt standard, or you know, they're willing to toss aside, you know, basic hygiene to handle business. They're not going places in this world. I'm sorry, they're not. Like, unless
they're gross themselves, you know.
Cool. I mean, they're gross, but I'm just saying, like, you're
agreed.
Gross.
I agree.
You're dabbling in the devil's gutter at that point in time. Like, no, thank you.
But for them, maybe it's just more seasoning. I have no idea. No idea.
Look, like, you already know, I have a weak stomach right now. Okay, like, saying shit like that.
You know, I don't know. It's just kind of wild, because, like, you know, having talked to people and the various differences, like differences in opinion. For me, some people make me feel like I'm like a germaphobe, which I'm not, you know. But I do like to be well kept and clean and present myself a certain kind of a way to the world when I step outside. You know what I'm saying? There's not a person, to the best of my knowledge, that would say Salt's a nasty motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But I can't say the same for a lot of folks out here in this world. You know what I mean? And when I ask them why they do what they do, they're just kind of like, for them, it's just kind of like, well, what else am I supposed to be doing? Like, where am I going wrong? They have no idea. You know what I'm saying? So kind of like what you were saying before with the whole boxer thing, whatnot, like, you know, some people just don't know in terms of manscaping. For me, I didn't know. I was completely ignorant to that I was deep into my 20s. And I was like, well, I guess I gotta start manscaping because this is what she wants. Then it became like just for me, just policy. I was like, yo, like I prefer this myself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And now that's just how I maintain. But that wasn't like a standard for me before. Whereas before I'm getting my hair cut, I'm doing all this other stuff. I wasn't doing all this extra because to me, I was like, well, like, who's tripping? You know what I'm saying?
I'm not trying to.
She was just like, that's what she preferred. So
I'm not trying to judge nobody out there. Look, at the end of the day, do you? And if you're a nasty motherfucker and you're still out there handling business, do you? But you might be limiting yourself. You know what I mean? Like, look, like I know some women who enjoy the smell of a man in his rawest form. And I get that. That's a primal thing. Like, you know, he comes home from work smelling like a man, been working all day. There's probably an odor about that. There's a scent about it, you know, that affects the pheromone. A pheromone like affects the libido somehow, where you're like, that sexy ass man's been out there working construction all day with his beard and stuff like that.
That's different. I think that's different because I think that's different, right? If it's kind of like women find if you go to the gym, if you're at the job, you're working hard, right? The image that goes through a woman's mind, right? He's out there lifting heavy shit, grunting, doing all that, doing like this man shit in her mind, right? Construction and all that. But when he comes home and he smells like, I don't know, cement and wood and all this other shit that they're doing out there and fresh air, dare I say, that image plus that smell, it ties to like this, like that masculinity that she wants, right? He wasn't in some nail shop. He was out there doing like hardcore shit. And I think that attracts her to that, right? Women like masculine men. However, there's a difference between that and you have been sitting here eating Cheetos all day, playing video games, and you haven't showered in 3 days. There's nothing attractive about that.
I don't think those folks even belong in this conversation. I don't think they even have that problem.
I think, but that's what I'm saying though. But like, that's how some people are moving. And now granted, for me, it's unacceptable, but some folks are saying like, that's fine.
You know what? And you know what? Have fun, fucking your female ostrich girlfriend in World of Warcraft or whatever the fuck. Like I can't help you at that point. Like, but I mean, on that note, I've had buddies of mine too who lived in those alternate worlds, and they you know, they took care of themselves, like surprisingly.
I was about to say, I'm not knocking gamers, right?
Right.
Listen, I
didn't even mean to go there, but that's what I envisioned.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because for me, I used to be a hardcore gamer. And this is the only reason why I want to say I understand how you can get lost in that, because I could wake up at, say, 7, 8 in the morning.
Live off Cheetos
with
and
the intention.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the intention of, okay, I'm going to brush my teeth. Now, granted, for me, this is just my routine. I have to do these things because I just feel gross if I don't do these things. I brush my teeth to get myself together. And then I know that I'm going to sit down on this fucking game and I'm going to just start my day. But I have nothing else to do. And I can easily go from like, it's early in the morning and somehow I come to, because I've been zoning out gaming and the sun is down.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, snap. Like, yo, like I just lost. I didn't even know, like the sun is setting and it's down. You know what I'm saying? And you could do that. Now, granted, I'm not the type to do that day in and day out in terms of I never get off and then the sun comes back up.
But hold on. Hold on. But get back,
people that do that.
Get back to the point, though. You're also not the dude that, like, let's say you got a date scheduled that night. All of a sudden the sun's going down and you get a text. Bling. Hey, are we still good to go in an hour? I guarantee your ass is up, wiping the Cheetos off, brushing your teeth, hopping in the shower. You're cleaning up, putting on the nice drawers, and making yourself presentable. You're not just accepting like, oh, I'm covered in fucking Cheetos dust. You know what, baby? Come on over, and I hope you accept me looking like a slob.
No.
Right.
No.
That's the thing.
Well, I mean, I think you, but the thing is, I also don't want that from her. I can't ask for that from her.
Could you imagine?
What, a girl showing up like that?
Or you go over to her place and she's rocking some fucking stained up sweats, got holes in her t-shirt, not wearing a bra, because I know that you prefer that. She's wearing slides without socks and her toes aren't done.
I'm doing an about face and leaving.
Right.
I'm not going to entertain it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna even entertain it.
Gross.
But you know what though? Like but to what you're saying though, right? Like for me, I know that there's a certain kind of a woman, certain caliber of woman. And granted, what I do on my off time is my time, right? But if I want a attractive woman who dresses nice, looks good, and a lot of good stuff, I have to look the part at least to even attract her in the first place, right? If I think that if I'm gonna go meet some girl, let's say I bump into a very attractive woman in a coffee shop or in the grocery store or somewhere out in my day to day, you know, and I look like a bum, smell like shit, and I got stuff in my teeth, do I really think I'm gonna bag this lady?
No,
I'm not.
No.
You see what I'm saying? Now, if she sees me the way that I like to present myself, I like to smell a certain kind of a way, which is good, not bad. I like to smell like I like to have some cologne splashed on me. I like to keep my teeth as clean as possible on a regular basis. And I like to look like I give a damn about my appearance, like on a regular basis, right? Mm-hmm. I now have better odds, not to say it's going to be guaranteed, but I have better odds of bagging this lady, right?
Sure.
So this is what blows my mind, being that we're here. Let's just talk about it for a hot second. This is what I don't understand, right? I have had conversations with individuals of the female kind, and
it's going to gross me out.
It's going to gross me out. No, I don't think it's going to gross you at all. I hear, right, about ideally what they're looking for.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay.
In terms of what they want.
Okay.
Right? They want, and granted, like what they're saying is not wrong, right? They want a guy who's successful. They prefer him to have a nice body, Greek god, I hear, on a pretty regular basis. Financially, he should be, not to say that he has to be a multi-millionaire, nothing like that, but he should be.
Manage your expectations, ladies.
Well, I mean, so like they want all these things, right? And I'm listening. I was like, absolutely. I was like, of course, and yes, as you should. But my thing is, and I asked this, I was like, okay, so like if this is what you want, right? The way you are operating, the way you present yourself right now, you're not going to get it.
Boom.
Now these, you know what I'm saying? And I say that, and not to be a dick, but because I've been hearing this for the last like 12 years.
It's fucking true though. It's fucking true.
No, it is true. Because like I'm looking at them and what they're saying to me, I'm like,
I was watching an interview.
You go to the gym?
I was watching an interview the other day, and I can't even remember the man's name. Black dude. He's fair.
Oh, Kevin Samuel.
Yes,
Kevin Samuel. He passed away. Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah, he died.
I didn't know that. R.I.P. Yeah, but he's interviewing this lady. He's like, how old are you? Because she's saying the same things. Oh, I want this. He's like, how old are you? She's like, 31. She ain't fit, right? He's like, oh, okay. Like, do you want kids? She's like, I already got one. So you're 31, single. You got a kid. Your body's like shit. You're not dressed all that great, but you want this, billionaire boyfriend who's going to pick you up and take you out to his private yacht and show you all the things. Like, this dude has worked his entire life to get where he's at. And you think he's going to fucking settle for something subpar to something less than what you would even consider the standard? Get the fuck out of here.
And that it's a jacked up expectation, truly. And some of these ladies are out of their minds.
Well, the problem is I think they think the power of the P is stronger than it actually is, because when you start dealing with real men who have actual, standards
options.
And I wasn't going to say options. I don't have options anymore. I am off the market. Wow. Back off. But
indeed,
standards. You have standards. You accept nothing less than the highest of your standards because you can, right? Absolutely. And look, I'm sorry. Absolutely. Some people are fucked. They're fucked for the rest of their life based on decisions they made early on. And guess what? You got to fucking accept that and now manage it how you can moving forward. I got people like this in my life. And it is what it is. I've told them the same thing. Manage your expectations. You fucked up. Own it. You're never going to have this. And I'm not trying to put people in a hole and be like, oh, your life's going to suck. It doesn't have to suck. But if you're a 40-year-old woman with 3 kids and you're 100 pounds overweight, you're probably not getting, Andrew Tate. Sorry. He's probably not interested. You're not getting, you're not bagging Dan Bilzerian. He's not interested. Yeah. So
what 40 now? You know what I'm saying? It's not that it's doable, but you just made your job that much harder. You know what I'm saying? It's similar to like trying to, amass a lot of money, but you're already 50K in the hole.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of same like with some of these like shit. Like look at a lot of these kids.
Would you call that you're in physical debt, not financial debt? Although you might be in financial debt too, which is why you're looking for.
I would say physical debt.
Yeah.
I would say you're not only physical, but you're also in mental debt as well. In terms of it's a mindset to let yourself go like that. It's a mindset, right? Now, granted, I'm not saying everybody fucks up. I have fucked up numerous times. But the thing about it, though, however, is that luckily, in some regards, not everything, but I was able to see how I was screwing up, stop it, stop it, and then start working in a way to repair that, right? So, like for me, okay, so like physically, I work out, I maintain myself. That luckily comes easy to me, right? Like some people, that's a very difficult task, right? What was very difficult for me was getting my head in the game, getting my mind right. So I always tell my sister, I told this to my sister and whatnot. I told her, I was like, because my sister, she's like, has like struggles, she's like, I gotta go to the gym, I want to do this. I'm like, that's all good. But I was like, don't think that you're like by yourself in this. So I told her, I was like, for me, I still borderline feel that mentally, I'm the overweight guy. You know what I'm saying? I had to make myself become this guy who started taking his growth, his education seriously, where I kept going in on it. Now, if you told me, hey, Salt, go run 5 miles, go do this, go do that, physically, I could do that, and I wouldn't even skip a beat, right? It just comes naturally. But the discipline of sitting down and reading and studying and do this, that was a task. You know what I'm saying? That was difficult. So I kind of said, like, in my head for like the longest, I felt like I was obese in that regard, in terms of I didn't know. It was very laborious for me to get myself to move. I was just like, I would rather do anything other than sit here and read this stupid book. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to go run. I wanted to go do this. But I had to teach myself that. So anyway, I say that just because if a person is already, you've made poor choices, you've got 3 kids, you're out of shape, you're not completely out the game. You've just basically put yourself in a very deep hole, physically, financially, mentally, all that. But you're going to have to just now fix that. It's just going to take some time to repair that. You know what I'm saying? To make yourself attractive.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm not saying you can't find love. I'm just saying manage your expectations.
Yeah, don't aim for a Bill Zarian or Andrew Tate. Go get a nice regular dude that makes 90, 80K, but he's going to treat you like gold. Why do you have to go after the 1%? Like, I don't need Kim K. You know what I'm saying? I don't need.
First of all, that 1% is not in it to raise your fucking kids.
Well, and look, for them, they think that that's what's just walking around. Like, when I go to the store, I'm going to bump into this dude who's got, a 10-inch penis, and he is down to just splurge on my babies just because my goodies are just that damn good.
First of all, that's a different story. You ain't even using all that 10 inches, and I don't care what the goddamn you say. All right.
But what if she has the capacity?
I can't. The goddamn, I'm doing this subpar. My battery's about to die, and you're talking about taking 10, right? And you know what? She better have cheeks, baby. She better have cheeks. Yo, love you, man. Open up one more.
Oh man.
And I'll see you in the morning.
Indeed. Kampai.
All right, my friend.